Hey there, my YouTube fans. This is CRSR-A40B coming to you with another video. Well, I want to explain something to you about the basics of model railroading, wiring, electronics. As you can see on my layout here, I have an Atlas selectors hooked together, which makes it easier when you're doing different cabs, which is the throttles. And if you look on my layout here, the top one here goes to one throttle, which I consider A, and this one goes to B. And here, these go to the track sections. And you can hook them up, and you can make as many of these as you want, which is kind of nice the way the circuitry runs inside of them. Double pole, double throw. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I saw the latest video that SMT Mainline did. Now, SMT, you're going to probably get frustrated and mad at me, and you're probably going to think I'm a know-it-all. And you always say, it's your model railroad, you can do it the way you want, how you want it. And you know what? I agree with you. However, there are some basic standards even in model railroading for beginners, novice, and experts that must be understood. And one thing that I've always been trying to help you understand is this book here. Now, my book is a little bit older because I had this book for quite a few years, but I always go back to it whenever I need to do any kind of wiring to it. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when I saw your video, you were using a double switch to the power pack. That is not necessary. The MRC controller dual power pack that you're using, it's already set up to be isolated. All you have to do is send your switches hooked up to the track and use the common rail method. Now, the Atlas book shows you how to do a real simple design. Now, I want to point something out. These are isolators right here, okay? Try to isolate it. If you notice above it, there is no isolator because it's all one continuous rail soldered together. That's the idea behind a common rail system. That's probably going to be the negative. Now, when you go from this gap to the next one here, this is one section. And then from here to the next one is two. So you have two buttons, and then all the way around, and you can see how it's hooked up. Now, the reason why they call it a common rail setup, if you look at the red wiring here, when you get to this side, you see how it's spliced in to the same one here, and then this wire is your common. That keeps the negative or positive, I believe it's, negative, the same all the way through. So all you're really is doing is hooking up these wires to the gap side, which goes to the track. And the beauty about this setup is, if you go up, it'll run into the A cab. Down, it'll go to the B cab, and put it in the middle, it cuts it all off. The way you had it from the video that I've seen, you're trying to switch power between the power pack, not the tracks. That's where you got the short circuit from, and why you almost overloaded it. Now, SMT, please, man, I love your video. I think you're great, and because you're one of the very few young men in the hobby that actually understands about trains. Very rare person like that. If you do get a chance, please just sit down, take your time, and just study this book. Read it, go through it, and believe me, it's going to click with you. On your model railroad as well, you'll find out that isolating the blocks on it and getting these. So you can use 2 power pads on the block section. It'll be a lot more simpler. Okay, on my layout, what I've done here is I isolated both of my rail joints here and here when I'm going from my main line, which is this track, over to my industrial track here. Now, when I isolate them on the industrial line, it goes all the way up to about here. Okay, that's one block. The next section here is the main line. That's another block. The branch line next to the wall, that's another block. And then you have another track here. The main line goes around behind the building. That's another block. So that's 4 blocks connected in to these, so that way I can control each track section. Now, because it's DC, that works out quite nice. So anyway, if you get a chance, just check out the book, read it, and just understand that when you do it the way the Atlas book has it set up, it makes it a lot more easier. And it's a lot more fun too. So that way, when you hook up DCC, you can still use these, even in DCC mode. Alright, SMT, hope this helps a lot, man. I know you're probably going to be mad at you, but you know what? I prefer at least that I can teach somebody, and hopefully it can help them out a little bit. Alright, my YouTube fans, you got any questions, comments, or even complaints, go ahead and drop a line in my thing. I don't mind. I prefer some criticism. At least that helps me understand what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. And you got any suggestions? Hey, I'm always welcome to them. Alright, this is CRSR-A40B signing off.